This isn't just a story of betrayal. It's the unraveling of the night my marriage collapsed, and the moment I truly understood how far someone can fall when trust is broken. It started with a smile, not mine but hers. My wife slipped through the door long past midnight, her hair a bit disheveled, her lipstick smeared, her dress clinging to her in a way that suggested more than an innocent evening with friends. Yet, it wasn't her appearance that cut me deeply. It was her laughter, a piercing, almost mocking sound, so different from the warm chuckle I once loved. It held a smug note, as if she'd outsmarted someone in a game I didn't know we were playing. She brushed past me as if I were invisible, tossed her purse onto the couch, and sauntered to the kitchen to pour a glass of wine. I stayed quiet at first, watching her every move, like someone spotting a flame inching toward a powder keg. For weeks, I'd felt something was off: late nights, sudden work commitments, and the way she tilted her phone away from me when a text arrived. I tried to trust her, to believe the woman I'd shared 8 years of my life with wouldn't deceive me. But that night, the truth didn't just creep up. It crashed into me with brutal clarity. When I finally asked where she'd been, her lips twisted into a smirk, and she said, "Out. What, you don't believe me anymore?" Her tone, light and dismissive, twisted my gut. I pressed harder, my voice growing heavier. She leaned against the counter, gave a casual shrug and said, "If you must know, I had a good time tonight. No big deal." Then came that laugh again, sharp and reckless. In that moment, my heart didn't just crack, it turned to ice. I wanted to yell, to release the agony she'd so carelessly thrown at me, but instead, I froze. I told her I was going to bed and left her there, sipping her wine with that self-satisfied smile. She thought I was weak, that I'd just accept her betrayal. She had no idea what was already forming in my mind. The next morning, I called in sick to work and began plotting my escape. First, I went to the bank. Over the years, I'd been cautious, saving money in a hidden account she didn't know about, originally intended for a dream trip. Now it would fund my liberation. I withdrew enough to cover a deposit on a new apartment, a place she'd never tracked down. Then I started gathering proof. I'd already caught glimpses of texts over her shoulder, seen receipts from nights she claimed were work-related. I even checked the home security footage from the night before. The grainy video didn't lie. A man dropped her off, and they shared a long, intimate kiss before she walked inside laughing. Watching that scene didn't hurt me anymore. It fueled my determination. By that evening, I'd packed what mattered: clothes, important documents, electronics, everything I held dear. I didn't say a word to her. I wanted her to suspect nothing. We even sat down for dinner together, though the meal tasted like dust in my mouth. Her phone kept buzzing, and she tried to hide the messages, angling the screen away. I no longer cared about catching her in the act. I had all the evidence I needed. 2 days later, when she went out again, I put the rest of my plan into motion. I moved my belongings to the new apartment, then returned home one last time. At the kitchen table, I wrote her a letter. Not an angry tirade or a desperate plea, but a cold, calculated goodbye. I laid out everything. I knew about the texts, the footage, the receipts. I told her I'd emptied our joint savings account, leaving her to handle the bills she'd always piled up. I said she could keep the house, but she'd have to figure out how to pay for it alone. And then I ended with a single line, crafted to sting more than any insult. "You were laughing when you walked in that night. Let's see if you're still laughing now." I placed the letter on the counter, set my wedding ring, mine not hers, on top of it, and left for good. I didn't look back. When she came home that night, I wasn't there to see her reaction. But the messages started almost immediately. First she called over and over. Then came the texts, angry at first, then desperate, then pleading. She claimed it was a mistake, that she'd been drunk, that it meant nothing. She begged me to talk, to come back. I ignored every single one. In the weeks that followed, mutual friends told me she was falling apart. She lost her job after missing too many days, struggling to hold her life together. The mortgage payments buried her. The man she'd been with vanished the moment he realized she no longer had a husband to prop her up. Meanwhile, I rebuilt my life, piece by piece, free from the constant doubt, the manipulation, the sting of her laughter after breaking our vows. I never pursued revenge as a way to heal. But this wasn't about getting even. It was about making sure she understood the cost of her choices. She thought she could humiliate me and walk away smiling, keeping her comfort, her security, her charade while treating me like a fool. Instead, she learned that every decision has a price. Sometimes, the person you think will just take it, the one you assume is too kind to fight back, is the one who will leave without giving you a chance to make things right. That night, she came home laughing, unaware that she'd already lost everything. And the best part? I didn't need to raise my voice or make a scene. I simply disappeared, leaving her to face the silence she'd created. That, more than anything, made her regret every choice that led to that moment.